How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, we're going to be reviewing and just going over the launch Creator Crp123E Plus. This is the 2024 model year, so it is with a dongle type of cable. It is not Bluetooth, so the cable is fairly long. As you can see, I have it here, and it has a nice long range. Now you could also charge it either a power outlet on your home or business or whatever the case may be, or it also charges through the dongle when it's hooked up, as you can see here. It also does have Wi as well, which you could use obviously to do a couple different things, like including searching the browser, internet, or perform some updates for up to 2 years for free. So also has Android 7.0. It's a 6100 milliamp hour battery, 5-inch touchscreen, so it is touchscreen and has physical buttons, as you can see. Comes with DTC help, auto VIN, live data, some resets, etc. So pretty entry level tool. Now there is some Honda specific ones. As you know, this is a Honda channel, although if you have a garage, or if you have a shop, or if you're an owner and you have a couple different brands of vehicles, this may be a better option for you. Like this, you could diagnose and do some small work with this exact tool. So again, we're just going to go over some things. As you can see, there are some upgrades here. Now I'm not going to be doing them because I don't need these upgrades. I'm just interested in the Honda and Acura stuff here, but we'll go over it just to go over it. Now the start time is about a minute and a half or so. So you have all these updates here. Again, I'm not interested in any of this stuff here, so I'm not going to update it at this time. You could update them all at once, or you can unselect and do one individually, which is what I did. You could also delete them if you choose to, but we'll leave them there. You never know if I need it for something else. So gonna use this. Now let's just go through some of these things. Let's start with the settings. So you can change units of measurements to metric or imperial. Screen capture, which is great, and once that is activated, you'll see the button of the camera right in there, and you can take a picture with it and it will be saved in a different screen. So display brightness, sound, network, time zone, language, workshop information, if you chose to have one, you can have that also in there, and etc. So let's go back here. Let's go over the data now, and you have records here if you choose to have any. Diagnostic reports, same thing. This is from a different vehicle. DTC library, so let's say we had a P0301, which is a misfire, soul number 1, and it gives you a brief description of what could be going on. So images, this would be where our screenshots are. So let's go back here, and I am using gloves. Sometimes it is a little finicky with the gloves, so you may want to choose to use the buttons at that point. You can report some feedback here. So we were gonna back out of here, and upgrade we did. Mall, you could also buy certain jobs or functions in this section right over here. If you chose to need something and you don't want to upgrade, you can buy them individually, which is a nice feature. Obviously the price looks to be $34.04, but we aren't going to be doing any of that right now because we don't need any of this stuff currently. Battery voltage, if you just wanted to make sure your alternator was charging, or if you maybe thought you were having some issues with your alternator charging, you could easily check that here. You could also add some loads to see if the alternator does respond, and we can see it did drop a little bit and pick it up right away. So that is nice to have, quick and easy. Here is where you would come for your simple reset. So oil life reset, we are working with an 08 CRV, and it did reset the oil light automatically, excuse me. Now you could also do it manually. If it didn't do it, it'll teach you step by step on how to do the process, which on this car you could do it once again with the scan tool, or by using this button over here and doing a couple different sequences. Stereo sensor reset, which I do use a lot and it does work, and electric throttle relearn, which works great if you clean your throttle body from carbon, and you should definitely do a throttle body relearn after each and every time. Gonna go in here for a second. And as you can see, the battery is charging slowly but surely, and battery life is pretty good. But you know, if you have it plugged in, it's nice that it does charge. So this is your monitor. So this is great for any vehicle. If you're in a used car market and you want to purchase a vehicle, if these are completed, that means no funny business is going on. If any of these are red, so the green are completed, red would be uncompleted, and unsupported just means the vehicle doesn't have that or doesn't look for it. So being that these are all completed, that means the car is good. There's no pending issues or anything like that. If any of them were uncompleted or multiples, it either means that somebody recently changed the battery or possibly has a check engine light, trans light, whatever, and they clear the lights for you to come look at the car. And when you drive away, chances are something will come on. So very good to use. Once again, we have battery voltage here, which is nice. We're going to exit. I love that. And once again, we are using a 08 CRV here for our test vehicle. Searching here for the right protocol. All right, so immediately we have the VIN number, MIL status, so no check engine light, no DTCs present, readiness 8 complete, 8 not completed. So another way you can see if the readiness codes are completed very easily, you know, to identify that. So we could go to live data right in here, and we'll just do a couple different things here. You could also select all of them. So now you could also record here if you chose to, if you're trying to catch something and you're driving and you necessarily don't want to be looking at the screen, obviously. So here we have the cat temperature. Let's go back here. Let's hit all of them. I want to look at all of them at one time. And here we go. The minute I hit the throttle, changes, and it'll tell you here which each line represents with a different color. And you also get a nice numerical display there as well. So very cool, very good to use. You could also screenshot it at this time if you wanted to. And we'll go back here. And again, I'm using gloves because every time I work on a car, I try to use gloves just because, you know, tend to have oil on my hands. Sometimes I try to keep oil off my hands. So I try to wipe them, obviously, but all the time you don't get all the oil off, and you do get dirty hands over time. So without gloves, the screen will respond more accurately, which is essentially what I'm getting at. So again here, vehicle information. So calibration ID, if we needed to use that, if there was some sort of a software update available and you wanted to see which one you had, there you go, software version on the ECU. So very cool, very basic scan tool, but more than most people would need. So readiness codes, freeze frame data. If there happened to be a code, this is where it would be. So we have no code, so we have no freeze frame. So that is that. Now, if you wanted to diagnose, you could also go in here. Let's go ahead and find Honda. This is what we're looking for. It does take a little bit, but nothing out of the norm here. Even with the Honda scan tool, it takes a while sometimes. So 16 pin, USA. All information. So here you could do a full health report, or you could do system selection. Let's go into a seat weight sensor. Let's just see what happens here. Let's just go see passenger weight. Go ahead and see. And there you go. We got 9 pounds. Now let's add some weight to it. And there you go. It reacted, so that is nice. Again, you could graph it if you wanted to. Battery, you know, whatever you want to do. Does plenty of things, which is nice. The other day I did use it for a ABS situation. That is normal, that it stops reading at 30 miles an hour. Even with the Honda scan tool, it'll do that. And And let's look here at speed, which is exactly what I needed for the other day. Now, I'm not going to drive the vehicle for obvious safe reasons, but you do have the values there, and you could also display it in a line graph. So obviously it's not going to read because we are not moving, but it would be displayed here, and if one of them stopped reading, it would pick that up, which is nice. So we'll just go through here some of the things it does have. Start at the top. So BGMFI, AT, this doesn't have ACM, so we want to apply it to this car. SRS, OPDS, seat weight sensor, you know, 4-wheel steering doesn't have. Some of these doesn't have, but it is here for the cars that do have it. One push start would be for a different vehicle. Also, Honda Smart Parking doesn't have it. Obviously, this is an older vehicle, so TPMS, that's nice to look at. So, yeah, plenty of systems that it does look into, which is nice. All right, we want to head to transmission. Let's go over here to there you go. Put it in drive. AT, D switch, so in drive, picked it up. So again, lots of things it does, which is great. Back out of here. So that is basically it. So once again, very affordable scan tool, great for your average DIYer if you do have multiple brand vehicles in your garage or your driveway, whatever case may be. Obviously, this is a great tool. If you have something brand specific, then maybe you could look elsewhere, but this is going to be more than plenty for the average person. And there's also small upgrades you could buy like I showed you. So once again, great to have. It's about $309 plus fees off of Amazon. There could be some discounts at times, so make sure you do keep on the lookout for those. So with that being said, I'll catch everyone on the next one.